Hello and Ramadan Mubarak. In today's episode of Dr Nora, I take you through the benefits of fasting for your body. Every year, billions of people around the globe observe the holy month of Ramadan, which is fasting from sunrise all the way through to sunset, meaning no food or water for that period of time. Now, in some countries, that can be up to 18 hours, depending on when their sunset is. Not only do Muslims fast, but also other people who are trying to do diets, for example, will fast as well. And they may try something called intermittent fasting, which is very similar, having no food or water for a period of time. But why are all of these people fasting, and what benefit does it have to the body? To understand what happens to our body whilst we fast, we need to understand what happens when we eat food in the first instance. When we consume any food, we take it through our mouth and it gets digested all the way down into our stomach and then our bowels. When this food is digested, it releases an energy called glucose, and glucose is our main energy provider. That glucose can then go into different mechanisms. For example, you may need to use it for that time that you're actively doing some exercise, for example. Or it may be converted to get stored in your body for use later on in life. So what happens when we fast? What happens to that glucose supply? Well, to understand this fully, we can break this down into different phases. Step number 1, when you fast from 0 to 4 hours, your body goes into a state called an anabolic state. What this means is that your body is now using that energy that it consumed from that last meal that you had. Your body's now breaking down those carbohydrates and it's producing glucose, which is now your energy store. It's going to help to keep you running. And that glucose, as we said, can go into a multitude of different places. 1, it can be used for that time when you are fasting and you need that energy to keep you going. 2, it can help to make proteins and build up some muscles. 3, it might get stored into a short-term energy supply for use later on down the line. Or finally, it may get stored for long-term use later on, and that usually gets stored into our fatty tissues or our adipose tissues. And that's why it's called the anabolic state, because it's a period of time where your body is utilizing all of those lovely amino acids, that fatty acids, all of that good stuff to help to grow and to build. Whew, you made it through the first 4 hours. Well done. That sometimes can be the hardest time, but what happens after that 4 hours? Well, going on from there, we can break it into the catabolic state. Now, this generally runs from 4 to 16 hours. The catabolic state is essentially now where your body has run out of all that energy that you had from before when you had the anabolic state, and now it's having to utilize any of the energy stores you had stored up in the past. It's now breaking down that glycogen and all that storage of glucose that was there before, and it's starting to use that for your energy level. Now, the great thing about fasting is that our basal metabolic rate actually decreases, and that's essentially how much energy we use whilst we're at rest. And so the net result of that is we become really efficient in our energy consumption. And then going on from that, our blood pressure and our heart rate also drop as well. So you can see by at least 4 hours, your body is starting to change. Your heart rate's going down, your blood pressure's going down. You might be feeling a bit more relaxed. Perhaps you're getting more clarity as well in your head. And you feel a bit more like, you know what, I got this, I can do this. And good for you if that's the case. But of course, it's not always easy, and sometimes you may feel really tired, but hang in there, because around 12 hours, something really magical happens and your body releases a hormone called growth hormone. Now, growth hormone is also released in exercise, for example, when you're exercising. Now, this is the main hormone that is responsible for our fat burning. Now, you can imagine that if you are fasting for prolonged periods of time, around 12 hours, you're starting to get into that growth hormone production and you're starting to burn that fat. How awesome is that? But not only that, growth hormone has actually been shown to be an anti-aging hormone, which means that it helps us look younger because it helps to thicken the skin. Not only does growth hormone help us look younger and feel slimmer and trimmer, but it also has a number of amazing other effects on the body. For example, it helps to heal joints. It helps with protein synthesis as well, which means the production of protein, making our muscles stronger. It also stimulates the immune system and it repairs cells and it helps our metabolism. But not only that, it also helps with our memory and our learning as well. What a special hormone going on right there. That is incredible. Now, towards the end of your catabolic state, your body starts to get depleted of that glucose store that you had previously. Now, this can go a little bit faster for some people. For example, if they are doing exercise whilst they're fasting as well. So their glucose stores will run out a lot quicker. And so what the body does to compensate with that, rather than having glucose, because it doesn't have any more glucose supplies, it switches to another chemical which is released from the liver, which is this organ over here. And it releases a chemical known as ketones. Ketones are the ideal mode for fat burning. So once you've depleted all of your glucose stores, you're now going into a state of ketosis, which is ideal for losing weight and also for balancing out your sugar levels. It's pretty impressive so far. But Surely there must be more, Dr. Nora. Well, do not fear, because there is. If your fast is longer than 12 hours, well, first of all, round of applause to you, because you've done so remarkably well for getting this far. But there is also another amazing thing that happens in our body known as autophagy. Now, autophagy is a process whereby your body essentially cleans itself up. As we live and we get older, we have cells in our bodies that get damaged and they die and they're no longer functional. But when we fast for long periods of time, for example, 18 hours and over, we go through a process called autophagy. And now this is a process whereby those cells that are damaged or they are dead get marked in by the body, and essentially they're cleansed up by your body. And so what happens is those cells that are damaged, they get cleaned away and they get recycled. So the protein that's within those cells gets recycled and it's used elsewhere to help to benefit another cell that might be living and keeps you nice and healthy. Now, this is essential for healthy functioning cells. And we see this problem in patients who have got Alzheimer's, for example, which is a memory disturbance. For these patients, they have protein plaque buildup in their brain, which causes them to have that memory loss. But autophagy, on the other hand, will help to clean up those debris, clean up those cells that are dead and use that protein elsewhere. Now, as you can see, there are some pretty impressive benefits to your body as you are fasting. Not only does it help with your weight control, your sugar levels, it also helps with the healing process. For example, it boosts your immune system, it helps to heal joints, it reduces those dead cells that could be lingering around your body. It also helps with our mental clarity as well, and helps with our learning and our memory as well. Now, of course, fasting isn't for everybody, and it's super important that if you're watching this video and you think, wow, this is so cool, I love this, I want to go and do this myself, it is vital that you guys seek the opinion of your own medical doctor to make sure that it is suitable for you, because there are certainly some people with some certain medical conditions that fasting just won't be suitable for. Well, I hope you guys have found this video useful, and of course, if you have any questions or comment, please don't hesitate to drop me a line in the comment section below. But for now, take care, stay healthy.